What up? It is Eryk O'Brien, Way of the Warrior, and another UFC right around the corner. This time around, UFC 128, Jones and Shogun. Jones and Shogun, this is a huge fight. Jon Jones obviously taking this on short notice. 6 weeks after his victory over Ryan Bader, he is back in the cage, this time going for the title at 205. Shogun, if you're a fan, you know exactly what to expect from him in this fight. He's going to be aggressive, he's going to be a striker with a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so he's dangerous everywhere. Jon Jones brings those elbows. His striking comes from anywhere. His Greco-Roman wrestling is going to help him in this fight. Here's what you need to understand. Jon Jones essentially undefeated. That defeat via the hands of Matt Hamill because of the illegal strike. 12-6 son. And Shogun, his last 3 losses are to Mark Coleman when Shogun broke his own arm, to Forrest Griffin, Lyoto Machida via decision, which I think we all can agree probably could have gone his way. So these are losses to high-profile fighters that really aren't that detrimental as far as losses go. His last legit loss, 2003. This is a big fight for Jon Jones on short notice. If he wins, it's awesome. If it doesn't, it's a great test of where he is as a fighter. I'm going to pick Jones because I love the guy, but Shogun has all the tools to tag Jones in the face and make this a very, very painful night for the Phenom, Jon Jones. Co-main event, if you want to call it that, is going to be Uriah Faber against Eddie Wineland. Eddie is coming way up in competition against Uriah Faber. I really don't see any way in which Uriah loses this fight, because here's a guy who lost to Jose Aldo, Mike Brown twice, and Tyson Griffin, and that is it. Eddie Wineland hasn't met anybody of that caliber yet, so this will be a big test for him. If he wins, it'll be a huge victory, but me, I don't think any way that Uriah walks out of that with anything less than a victory. Next up at UFC 128, it is Jim Miller. 19-2 Jim Miller. His only 2 losses, yep, that is to Gray Maynard and Frankie Edgar. So that should tell you who you're dealing with. He's on a 6-fight win streak. He's taking on Kamal Shaluri. Kamal, who robbed Bart Palashevsky. Robbed him in that decision. I mean, he had nothing to do with the decision, but he robbed Palashevsky. And the draw prior to that against Jamie Varner was 2 guys who decided to kick each other in the cup to see who can get disqualified the fastest. Those are his last 2 bouts. So there's a lot of upside to Kamal Shaluri. He's a legit fighter who I really love to see in the ring. He's aggressive, and I like all that stuff, but he isn't quite putting all of the pieces together to make it a decisive victory. I like the Miller brothers a lot, and I like Jim Miller much more than I like his brother, so I think Jim Miller's going to walk away with this one. I'm guessing round 2, maybe round 3 if Kamal decides it's Cupathon 2011. Also on this card, you've got Cro Cop taking on Brendan Schaub. Should be a great fight. Joseph Benavidez is on the undercard. You're not even going to see him. You're going to have to look for that deal. Eryk Koch is on the undercard. It's a great, great event. You can catch us at Quaker Steak and Lube on 28th Street on Saturday night for UFC 128. And obviously, all of our stuff can be found on Facebook. Just search Way of the Warrior and then hit us up on Twitter. It's @WowShow. Have a great weekend. We will talk to you after UFC 128.